individually process audio. Do you hear Yanny or do you hear Laurel? Listen.
Laurel. Laurel.
Well, some people hear Yanny, others hear Laurel. We took the debate right outside the Times Square.
Laurel.
Yanny.
I feel Laurel. I hear Laurel.
Yanny.
I hear, Yanny.
Nah, that's definitely Laurel. That's definitely Laurel.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be Laurel.
Definitely Laurel.
You can hear from the end.
It's clearly Laurel. Why would it say
N to
Yanny?
the L.
It's clearly Laurel. People crazy.
Laurel.
Laurel. Laurel. Laurel.
Laurel? Yanny. I hear Yanny now.
Larry.
Larry.
Larry? Larry? Come on. There is a scientific reason behind all of this confusion, except for those last two women. Let's discuss it with Kevin Cureghian, an audio engineer. Kevin, I guess I've learned that we all hear things based on a certain sort of, we're sensitive to certain frequencies. Explain it for us.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, if you play it back on speakers that don't necessarily have a lot of low end, to me, it sounds like you're hearing Yanny, because Yanny as a word has higher frequencies. But if you're listening to this on more of a full range speaker and you hear a little bit more low end, I think you actually hear Laurel. Now, you know, I think that a lot of people also are hearing this through mobile devices, laptop speakers maybe, so they're hearing Yanny, but then again, some people are hearing Laurel. It's interesting.
And our individual sensitivities, it sounds like it's pretty varied when it comes to how our ears and how our brains process this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, you know, as we get older as well, in adults, it is known that we hear less high frequencies. So maybe, is it maybe that just like older people, older adults hear Laurel because they're not as sensitive to high frequencies, so they don't hear Yanny? I personally actually, like, since I'm so into, like, I was curious, so I was running it through a low-pass filter, which basically eliminates all of the high frequencies, and I was hearing Laurel. But when I would remove all of the low frequencies through a high-pass filter, I was clearly hearing Yanny. So that's, yeah.
The difference in sensitivities that we all have, how much of that gets factored into high-end audio productions? And I guess I'm thinking of music or movie soundtracks or things when there's a lot of audio mixing. Is it possible that some of us may hear songs a little bit differently?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, the high frequencies are definitely where this sensitivity comes into play, where with high frequencies you might not hear, some might not hear the detail in the high frequencies and the more distinction up there, such as, you know, hi-hats, cymbals, anything with higher pitched sounds. There's definitely a difference there, and so yes, it could very well be that even in music we hear differently. Everybody hears music differently.
Well, we heard this audio Yanny versus Laurel debate a bit differently, even in our own office. We did a poll in our office of i24 News in New York. The results were pretty much down the middle. 40% say they heard Laurel, 40% said Yanny, and 20% said they could hear both. How many people usually can hear both frequencies?
I think it's something about, you know, if you listen to it over and over again, which I'm sure many people have done, you could hear both. It's kind of like a psychological thing where if you tell your mind you're hearing Laurel, you'll hear Laurel in there. But if you tell yourself you're hearing Yanny, you'll hear Yanny. So I understand the whole hearing both. I also think that, you know, like I said, it really depends on what you're listening on, the source, what kind of speaker, and also, you know, maybe it is a psychological thing where since the prompt was, do you hear Yanny or Laurel, Yanny is first, so maybe you're going for Yanny? I'm not sure.
Well, all I know is that I need some better speakers at my computer upstairs. Kevin Cureghian, audio engineer. Kevin, thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Got it. Let's take a look at some of the stories making headlines around the world in our global roundup.